November 7th, 2021. Hi, everyone. Mitch here with Jovan. It's Sunday, November 7th, 2021. Having a rough start here. It's kind of like did we gain an hour? We lost an hour? I don't know what the heck happened, but something happened. We don't change clocks here. It's always super confusing for me to exactly. This is one of those situations where I'm not really sure what happened. But we are live. It is NFL Sunday. We've got 12 games today. So 12 games. So is it 12 or 11?
Or is it 13? For some reason, I thought maybe it was 13.
I'll tell you in a second how many we got. We've got 12 games today.
Okay.
12 games. We've got 9. We got 8 early. Oh, no, I'm looking at next week. Yeah. 12 games. We've got
this time change sure
8 early, 3 late.
This morning.
The thing is, I got up at the same time. So then I get all carried away. I'm talking, I'm on Slack. I'm doing, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Anyways, got 8 early, 3 late, 1 Sunday night game. And, this is kind of the rubber meets the road for a lot of teams. They're going to either become playoff contenders or pretenders. The trade deadline has come and gone, so that stuff doesn't matter. Everything now has got to be done through waivers, which is always makes it interesting.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So I'm sure we'll still see a little bit of movement in there, but
yeah, we know Odell Beckham
big.
Jr. is on the move, and plus, there's going to be some big injuries through the second half of the season. We're seeing, the big names. We didn't see them in training camp this year, but we are seeing them now. Derrick Henry out this week, Aaron Rodgers out this week. Of course, Jameis Winston gone for the season for the Saints, and Michael Thomas.
Yeah, hard loss of him.
Yeah, Michael Thomas not playing this season for them either. Got just a lot going on. College football, tons of big dogs going down yesterday with the big guys getting beaten. I lost on that Michigan State Purdue. Brian Bitler had me on that one. He's called Purdue all week. I just really pounded Michigan State. A lot of it had to do with that he had Purdue, and I just wanted to be on the other side. I got him late on Oregon though. So
I was with you on that one as well.
But I got him late on Oregon. I know he was big on Washington too. So kind of it wasn't quite as much of a big deal, but I know he's an anti-Oregon guy. And Joe, what do you think about Tulsa and Cincinnati? It was like one of those situations where they didn't look great against Tulsa, but for some reason now Ohio State is forgiven for their crappy performance against Tulsa, or did people forget that they actually played because it was 3 weeks ago? I mean, I'm not really sure what.
Yeah,
why,
I think that's what happens with people. They forget.
Or they just trying to ignore the eye test. The eye test.
Yeah.
The eye test of where they are now. I don't even understand it because Ohio State didn't look so great yesterday either.
No, they didn't.
Right down to the very end, their quarterback got drilled.
Especially,
drilled. I mean, just absolutely drilled. And, they struggled against Tulsa. They were never outside the number against Tulsa at Columbus either. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think people just look at the very last game, and that's what they remember. And that's sad. The Cincinnati team is better than what we saw.
Do you think a lot of it has to do with the TV stations and who they think they're going to make more money off of when they're on?
Absolutely.
And who their alliances are with and who's the bigger money team than actually who has earned their spot there? I really believe that Ohio State probably is the better team between Cincinnati, and might be more competitive in one of those spots. But the reality of it is that we've seen Ohio State just absolutely buried in some of those early playoff games too. We've seen them
sure.
Last year. They made it to the final, but I mean, they've been shut out, in those games when generally the way the playoffs work is the first round of games they're not close. It doesn't matter who's in it. They're not close games, and they're generally blowout wins. And, we saw Ohio State fail to score against Clemson. in the playoff. And then it was a similar situation to this year. And then they just left them out. They were just like, we don't want to see this anymore. And it was Michigan State the year before from the Big Ten also getting shut out. So I don't know. It's kind of I
think at the end of the day, you got to look at the money and where's the most money going to be made, and that is what I think comes into factor a lot in college football. And it's sad. It really is. The TV networks, everything. Everyone's out there to make a dime, and we get these teams that draw the fans, draw the rivalries, and everything like that. It makes more money.
Yeah, it's just an odd set of circumstances here, because it just seems to me that if we go to a 16-team playoff, the games aren't going to be more competitive. That's for sure. At the opening round. You never know. You never know. But this way we don't have to hear the whining from me about who's excluded and who should be in and all that other stuff. We'll have a certain set of criteria where people will automatically, teams will automatically be in. But
we don't need to hear your whining anymore, Mitch. Let's get them to change this for sure.
We'll get them to change it. I will stop whining. But anyway, speaking of whining, let's bring in Romanelli. A lot of whining probably going on in Gainesville. My guess is the apologists are out for Mullen and that he was dealt a bad hand getting, I don't know, the fourth-ranked recruiting class in the nation like 5 years in a row or something, and a roster full of NFL players dealt just some really nasty cards there in Florida, getting rung up in Columbia by the Cox. I don't know, Ron.
Yeah, nobody's gracious for Mullen over here where I am. No excuses really for what he's done, and this season it's been awful to watch. I was about to take down this pennant, and I was going to put my Jackson State pennant up because just really embarrassing. But I think at some point, a lot of my friends at least were watching that game yesterday just for comedic relief and just entertainment value. It was just funny to see how South Carolina, who scores about 10 points per game, can put up 40 points on us. And it was just, and if you look at the Gators, they, usually they run the ball a ton. They're pretty good at running the ball. My friend mentioned, he's like, maybe Dan Mullen's just saying, hey, you want us to throw the ball more? We're going to throw it every play, because it seemed like Emory Jones threw the ball 50 times and it did not work. But, ugly. And we're looking forward to basketball season.
Well, now, it's time to start, it's time to really look at the body of work there, and it's like Florida can talk about basketball all they want, but they're a football school and everybody knows it. And it's, the body of work of Dan Mullen, it's not there. It's a myth. It's like he had the Mississippi State job. It wasn't like they were contending for national champions there and beating Bama every year and Auburn or something. They were a 6-5 team, 6-6, and then they would win their bowl game in a tie-in. They'd get into a nice bowl game on a bowl tie-in for SEC, and they would win there, and they'd finish above 500. And it didn't matter who he had, It's always the same story. I mean, the Dak Prescott team started 5-0, and they were ranked number 1 in the country. But it was a tumble from there.
Yeah, I think it's just time to. We're supposed to be in a rebuild in Florida football, but I think it's rebuild the rebuild, because this is just not looking good. I think we need a clear space.
All right, well, let's turn to NFL here. We've got 12 games today. What are you looking at here for a free play?
Yeah, we got. Oh my God, my voice. Excuse me, but we got 12 games, and I got the most marquee matchup you could hope for, this Dolphins-Texans game. Kind of disappointed this wasn't on Sunday Night Football, but, we'll take the 1 o'clock game nonetheless. But first of all, we have two of the worst teams in the NFL going at it. Houston, they've had to deal with plenty of injuries on their side with Tyrod Taylor, but it looks like he'll be back in this game. And I still think Miami's a touchdown better. You look at the Dolphins, they came into the season with big expectations. They fell flat on most of them so far. Injuries played a part in that, but just, underwhelming performances from the Dolphins from start to finish, really. Both teams won their first game of the year and have lost the rest of them, so kind of like the 2020 Jaguars. But the Dolphins, last week, I think their defense really stepped it up. You look, they only gave up 3 points in the first half. It was 3-3 at halftime against the Bills, one of the best offenses in football. So I think the Dolphins are going to be able to build on that against a bad Houston offense. The Texans haven't been able to run the football all season because that offensive line is the worst in the NFL, and the Dolphins have been good against the run. So I think the Dolphins are going to be able to put Tyrod Taylor in a lot of tough passing situations. Coming back from an injury, it's just not a good spot for him on the road. And you look at the Dolphins' offense, it hasn't been great, obviously, but the Texans' defense, I think, is also the worst in the league. They get killed against the run, almost 5 yards per carry they give up. The secondary gives up 68%, 67% completion to opposing quarterbacks. And if there was a feel-good game that the Dolphins could earn a blowout victory, this would be it at home. The home team is 3-0 against the spread in the last 3 games of this series. And I think the Dolphins earn a resounding win at home at Hard Rock today. I also like the under in this game. I think the Dolphins' defense is going to step up again in this one, force some turnovers, and the defense is going to help the offense, but keep points off the board. And I think Houston's really going to struggle to score. So I like the under, and I like the Dolphins laying the points.
Joe, what do you think?
I love everything you just said, Ron. I think we're going to see exactly that happen. The Dolphins should get the win here at home. I need the Texans to just crumble in this game again. And I love the under because I don't see the Texans being able to put up the points. So give me the Dolphins minus the points and the under.
Sounds like Joe likes the cut of your jib. Anyways,
I like the cut of your jib, Ron.
I know somebody else that does as well.
Anyways, I'm a Dolphin season ticket holder. I haven't been to a game in forever, but I have very little faith in this team. I think this is an organizational problem in Miami, and I've said it for a very long time. It's the same thing I say to the Dolphin representatives, when I send them an email when there's a problem with my season tickets or something like that. I said, St. Louis Cardinal fans aren't going through this. They're not, because their organization isn't as bad as yours. And I think, it all starts with the parking, on Sundays. And it all starts with the concession stands and all that stuff, because they own the stadium. They own all of those things. Yet they can't put a winning product on the field. This Flores looked to be coach of the year last year. Now he's become one of these stubborn NFL coaches who just refuses to, play into his strengths. He's been dealt a few bad cards. But I think that, when you have this receiver, this Devonta Parker, yeah, he's a good wide receiver. But you can't pay that kind of money for 2 games a year. You can't do it. Eventually you got to say, I'm not paying this for this. And I think that's part of the problem. And I think, he is an issue here. He makes a ton of money. When you trade away your first round pick for next year, which is looking like a top 5 pick, right? When you trade that away to take Jalen Waddle, you better make sure that everyone's saying, oh man, at least we got Waddle. They're not doing that. I think these are part of the problems here for this team, and I really cannot put one dime of my hard-earned money anywhere near these clowns anytime soon. I really can't stand them right now, and I've sent some strongly worded emails to the Dolphins, but they.
You sent strongly worded emails.
Of course, they're afraid to call me. They're afraid to call me. Ever since that Camp Cameron hiring a few years ago, I went ballistic. They used to call, how's everything going? Is there anything we can do for you? How about a head coach in a freaking playoff team? How about that? That's what you could do for me. How about it? It's like, is that too much to ask? Is there anything we could do for you? Your seats? How about a fucking playoff team?
I shouldn't have brought up this game.
I mean, I just don't understand what this organization is doing from top to bottom. And I think Stephen Ross should sell the team to somebody that knows what they're doing. Maybe the Bush family is available.
Absolutely. Ownership makes a huge impact on these teams. Huge.
It's like it's why do you have a team that, they're not like the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the Dolphins were always a very popular team, and they're losing that too. And it's, I don't get it. I don't even understand what they're trying to do there. And it's like, I think that, when they traded Kenyon Drake, I don't understand it, for a 7th round pick. You tell me a 7th round pick that's going to be better than that. You tell me one. What exactly are you waiting for? What are you going to get in the 7th round with that pick? This is the whole thing in the NFL these days. Oh, man, they trade this guy for a 7th or whatever. If he's disgruntled and discontent and all that other stuff, but you trade this guy away for a 7th round pick, it's like, what are you going to get in the 7th round that's going to be better than that? And it's not like Kenyon Drake is known as like this big money, right? Kenyon Drake's out. Whoa, It's like, it's like these are the problems. Instead, Devonta Parker's running around, What's he making? I don't know, man. I'm just disgusted by the entire situation. As a Dolphin fan, I think that maybe they do end up with the 1st overall pick, and it has to go to Philadelphia, and maybe that's what it's going to take. I mean, I'm not really sure. But at this point, this was supposed to be the year. They were one game away from making the playoffs last year. They lost that game badly, very badly. And this was supposed to be the year they get over the hump. Jalen Waddle, they traded up to get this guy. This was the guy that was going to get us over the hump. Got no excuses. I don't know. I thought when Nick Saban was there, it was the best that they looked. And that's hard for me to say. If you leave the state, you think you would threaten me at the Dolphin games? If you leave the stadium early, we're taking away your season tickets. Yeah, take your best shot at it, cowboy. Let's see what happens. Take a shot at it. How about this? I'm changing the TV in my living room because I don't feel like watching your team either. You gonna come in and take that too? Give it a try. Give it a try, Nick. Anyways, what are you selling today at PickDawgz?
Mitch got very emotional today. Last time I'm bringing up the Dolphins on this show.
Oh man, it's like, look, this is what happens when you care. This is what happens when you care.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, as far as what I've got on the site, I've been on a tear lately, on a bit of a heater. 8 straight winning days. I'm 20-10 in my last 30 games. Looking to make it 9 straight winning days. Check me out at PickDawgz Premium. We have a 3-pack on the site, my top 3 NFL plays. You can grab those individually as well. And just looking to keep it rolling, keep it going.
All right. Well, thanks, Ron, for joining us. And do you think the Dolphins had a chance last week against Buffalo? I mean, it was a tight game. They were right there.
Yeah. I don't know if they had a chance, but I was definitely impressed with how they didn't let – I mean, it was a road game. That's a tough game against a good Bills team. But
if you want to go to the next level, if you want to be a playoff team, if you want to – like Ric Flair, right? You want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And that – it's like – they didn't, when push came to shove, they got beaten on. It was a close game. They didn't even cover a double-digit spread.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Now that sports betting is legal in Florida, they could be like, now at the press conference, say, man, I can't believe we didn't even cover. It's like, it's like, Coach, what do you think of that last thing? He's like, yeah, we didn't even cover, man. That was ugly. Yeah. Well, this is what we're gonna see. This is what we're gonna start to see. But anyways, Ron, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Tuesday, right? Or is it Wednesday? Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday afternoon for our college football preview show. This is Ron Romanelli.
Best of luck today, Ron.
Good luck, everybody.
That was Ron Romanelli. It's kind of stepped down the wrong path with me there. But that's okay. It happens. Man, it's depressing being a Dolphin fan. It's like, this is why I haven't been, it's like, I don't even understand what they're trying to do. It's like when you can't figure out the direction of the organization. Like, at least when a few years ago, you knew that all right, we're going to gut the team, we're going to break it all the way down, and then we're going to build it all the way up. Well, last year we were a game away from making the playoffs. We get run out of the building, and then this is what we have to show for it. I mean, Drew Brees retired. They're not sitting through this in New Orleans. So Tua was out. I mean, they had a chance at Deshaun Watson. So what? He might have some baggage. Are we going to win football games, or are we going to worry about that stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, they've got to take the stuff off the field out of the equation.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Who do we bring in next? That's the big question here. God.
Big question of the day. Who's up next, Mitch?
Who wants a piece of this today?
And see everyone jumping around in the green room like, oh, God.
Who wants me with an extra hour of sleep? How about Shane Mickle? Shane, how you doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. I don't know why anyone had to bring up the Dolphins to start up the show, but I guess that was the need.
I could have warned you Ron was going to talk the Dolphins.
Yeah, I should read the show notes. Just goes to show you. Shane, how you doing today?
Good. My Gophers lost yesterday in pretty embarrassing fashion, but excited to watch another embarrassing Vikings loss today too.
All right. Well, got NFL action from gavel to gavel. What are you going to talk about today? Better not.
I'm ready to talk about the Packers and Chiefs game.
All right. Well, let's go. No Aaron Rodgers, no problem, or got stuff.
Yeah, I think there is going to be a problem with that Packers offense today. Jordan Love, I wasn't impressed with him coming out of college, especially with what he did his last year at Utah State. And I don't think he's going to have much success in this game either. And the Chiefs, their offense has also had their issues. The turnovers have been an issue for Mahomes. It's not just Mahomes' fault. The receivers have not done him any favors. But one thing that's overlooked about this Packers team is their defense is actually decent. And I think the Packers defense is going to step up in this game and slow down the Chiefs offense. I also think the Packers are going to want to control the ball with the run game. I think there's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones in this game, and I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. The under is 5-0 in the Packers' last 5 games, and I expect points are going to be hard to come by in this game. I actually see this game staying right around 40 points, which gives plenty of cushion for the under to cash.
Joe took a taunting penalty for them to beat Daniel Jones last week. What do you think about the Chiefs on short rest here against the Rodgerless Packers?
No, there's no way I'm putting any money behind the Chiefs. This team has struggled to cover the spread. Mahomes has the most interception turnovers. He is playing absolutely terrible. His offensive line is collapsing around him. We've got a defense that can't do anything. Give me the Packers with Jordan Love under center, fighting to show the world that he can play as a starting quarterback. So he wants to prove something in this game. So give me the Packers plus the points. And I think almost money line as well.
Do you think it was so Mahomes, remember he had the injury last year. And do you think that because he doesn't have the offensive line that he's had in the past, like we saw at the end of last year, that with the injury that his mobility isn't quite 100% back to where it was. And it's he's not throwing on the run those 60-yard darts that Tyreek Hill is wide open.
Absolutely, he's not.
It just seems like they're not the same team offensively. And then the defense, they were fierce on defense. Chris Jones, he got paid. So it's I don't know.
You have to look at these teams, and the teams that don't spend the money on their offensive lines struggle. Mahomes is used to having a strong offensive line that gives him the protection. If you look at some of the great quarterbacks like Brady, look at the time that he has in the pocket. Look how long his offensive line could hold that defense off. You got to look at things like that, because even if you would have compared Phillip Rivers to Tom Brady, that he had half a second less every single time he had the ball because it was offensive line could not hold. So Mahomes is in trouble. This offensive line is letting him down week in and week out.
And there's even times this year where Mahomes has a pocket and it's clear he doesn't trust his offensive line.
Yeah.
He has a clean pocket and he's rolling out just instinctively like he's going to get chased down with the offensive line, not doing their job.
Yeah, it's just tough to figure out, but we see it all the time. The loser of the Super Bowl rarely does well the next year. And it doesn't matter if you were the defending Super Bowl champs the year before or not. You lose the Super Bowl unless you're the Patriots. Even they kind of have fallen off when they've lost Super Bowls. So I don't know. It's always tough to explain. It's always guys that want to get paid, and the NFL is just not what it used to be with the guys staying with the same team for life. It just doesn't happen. Even Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, guys like that, don't retire with their same team that they played most of their career with. Anyways, what do you got going on at PickDawgz today?
Yeah. Today I got a few packages. I've got a 3-pack NFL, $29.95. I got a 5-pack NFL, or I have a 5-pack that's NFL and 2 NBA. NFL's definitely been my hottest sport the last couple of months, so hop on one of those packages.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us this morning, and of course, we'll see you next Saturday for college.
Sounds good.
College football. 3 weeks of college football left of the regular season, and that's it.
Crazy.
It's crazy how fast this season's flown by.
But college hoop starts on Tuesday, so we are back in business. But anyways, you know us. It's like these are the guys that bet on Madden simulated games during the COVID stoppage. It happened, Joe. It's like
I still have to go back and find those YouTube videos.
I'm not going to apologize for it either. This is what I do.
No,
you know.
No, I was betting on how many pellets my fish would eat.
Yeah, so. we bet on simulated Madden games, and we found action on these games, and we went to the books and we bet them, and you know what? I can't take it back, and I don't think I would if I could. You know, it's like
desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to Ruffolo's calls on those games. You know, like Ruffolo, it's like got the Pro Bowl in the snow this week. It's like, I'm in. You know, all right.
You're a degenerate gambler. When
it didn't take all that much prodding to get me there either. I was like, all right, I'm in. And then it was like, then we went to simulated hockey, but then like they had the setting was off, so Rod like figured it out. It was like, hey, the setting's off on hockey. It's like, woo. And then they fixed it. You know, it was like, whoa, this is different.
I focused on poker. I'd learned lots of strategies behind poker. That was my outlet.
I've watched more simulated hockey than I have watched real hockey in the last 3 years. But anyways,
it's crazy how popular those games were. I mean, there'd be like thousands and thousands of people watching those things.
Absolutely. But anyways, ready for another guest here, Joe. Got a ton of them this morning. So let's see who we could bring in next. Go with Sean Murphy. He's new to the show. He's not new to the site. He's been with us for a little while now. Let's see. Find him. Lost him. Let's see if we can get him back. And action. And Joe. And gotcha. All right, Sean. Welcome to the show. NFL Sunday. We got week 9 coming on. We haven't had you on our show yet before, so welcome. And I don't know if you know Joe, but she's right there. Anyways.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yes. I've been on the drive-through show for the last couple months, but this is my debut on the big weekend shows.
The big weekend shows.
Yeah.
Okay, but you got NFL week 9. It's It's the NFL. This is never one of so Sean's fairly new to the site, but he's not new to the sports handicapping or the business. He's a veteran, so it's like the NFL generally one of the two out there that are just people love to bet NFL. They love to bet NBA. They love to bet NFL, and two of the hardest you will take. Right, these are the games with 5 minutes left that you are 4-0 on the board, and you wind up 1-3, 0-4, and it's kind of like it's like you can't believe it happened to you again, and it does, and it can go the other way too, It's is there any relief in sight?
Yeah, like I remember right off the bat this season, week 1, the early NFL games, the early window of games, and it looked like I was headed for 4-0 start. And it flipped in like a 10-minute stretch. I mean, it's it can turn on a dime. It's this is the way the weekends go for us in this business. So you kind of come to expect it, and it can go the other way as well. So you got to take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, last week I had one of my best NFL Sundays of the year, and I still had 2 horrible games where the Bengals were up by 11 and that was the line was 10.5, and I end up losing outright on that game. Then I had the Rams and I was laying 16 and they're up by 35, and I end up pushing in that game.
That was a brutal one. That was brutal against the Texans.
Yeah, they missed the onside kick, and then the Texans go for 2 and convert it for the push. So it was like the backdoor push, the loss out of nowhere. I managed to get a bunch of other wins in there, but man, it's like, and I don't know why people love it so much. I'm like, where's college hoops? Where it's like you have the total mismatch that no one's watching. It's like,
the difference is when you have the NFL and NBA, a lot of these games, so many more of the games, the lines are just sharper. They're going to come down to the sweat the last minute. Whereas you're looking at college football, not to the same extent. College basketball, there's so many games end up finishing, 20, 30 points off of the spread. So you don't see that too often in the NFL. It's rare that you get, maybe Thursday night, if you had the over in that Jets-Colts game, you might have enjoyed kind of an easy winner there, but they're few and far between.
I've been thrown out of a few books in my day, and it's usually college hoops, betting the second halves of the smaller games. Like you get
hands up if anyone's surprised that you've been thrown out of a book.
Oh yeah. Oh, that man, like you bet the second half of a Manhattan, you like dump a big bet on like the second half of a Manhattan Kinesis game. You're out of here. It's like, I don't know it's like he's betting those Manhattan Kinesis games. It's like they think you're fixing the game or something, the way they treat you. It's like you're a professional bettor, and they don't pay you out on it either. They don't pay you out on the game that they throw you out on. Depends on who it is. It's funny though. There's a lot of books out there that don't like to lose, like all of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, what do you got for NFL action today?
Yeah. So for today, I'm looking at the Raiders-Giants game as my free play here. And I like the over in this one. I think we're working with a fair number here. The total is right in around 46.5, 47. We've got the Giants coming off, back-to-back low-scoring games. They played the Panthers 2 weeks ago. That game totaled 28 points. Monday night, everyone's watching. That game totaled 37. I know a lot of people liked a higher-scoring game in that one, and that one turned out to be more of a defensive game. I had the first half under in that one, so that was we kind of snuck in with that one. And when you're talking about Vegas here, a lot of people have been paying attention, rightfully so, to more of the off-field kind of storylines with this team. But they've actually continued to play well on the field. You look at their offense; it's been a whole different game for them since John Gruden resigned, and we had Greg Olson taking over the play calling. We've seen a lot more play action, much more aggressive kind of play calling from them on offense, and they went into the bye having scored 34 in a game in Denver and then 32 at home against the Eagles. And we kind of forgot about them a little bit other than the off-field stuff, unfortunately. But, their bye week last week. So now they're back. This is a pretty good matchup for them against, a Giants defense that has held up okay, but they're still missing a lot of key guys here. Blake Martinez, Jabril Peppers. It looked like Xavier McKinney was going to miss, but now I think it looks like he's probable for this one. So that helps them a little bit. But again, still a defense that's generally soft in the secondary. Only 5 teams have given up more catches to wide receivers this season. And I'd really focus in this one if you're looking at any player props. I think this is a good kind of blow up spot for Darren Waller as well for the Raiders. That bye week helps get him back healthy again here. There's just a good matchup, like I said, with the Giants missing Martinez and Peppers. That kind of opens up the middle of the field for Waller in this one. Also, the Giants against the run, not great, giving up over 4.5 yards per rush. So, I think everything's kind of there for the Raiders offense here in this one. You look at the other side, we're obviously going to need the Giants to contribute something here to help this one over the total, but only 5 defenses have given up more QB rushing yards than the Raiders have this season. And I think that's kind of an, overlooked part of Daniel Jones's game. He can help move the chains a little bit, running the football as well. And in this one, it looked like the injuries were going to kind of pile up to the receivers. But last I checked this morning, it looks like everyone's good to go in the receiving corps except for Sterling Shepard. So I think the Giants can. Help us along enough in this one. They're going to have to stay aggressive because I think they're going to be trailing for much of the afternoon. So I think it sets up well for them to kind of attack this Raiders defense. And you look at the Raiders; they've given up 20 or more points in 6 of their 7 games. So they're not the kind of team that's really going to completely shut their opponent down. So I think we see, a somewhat competitive game, and this one kind of creeps its way over the total, likely into the high 40s before it's all said and done. So I like the over.
I know Joe's been dialed into this game all week. We've talked about it a bunch in a bunch of different respects. She also loves a good over.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I really do think we're going to see an over in this with the Raiders putting up the majority of the points. I think there's going to be some holes where they do let the Giants get the scoring in there. And the Raiders, you know what? Everyone keeps looking at off field. Look at this team. Look at them against the Giants. Look at the numbers. They're going to come in here. They're going to get a nice big win on the road here. They've done fantastic ever since John Gruden has left the team. Yes, there's been some terrible drama going on off the field for this team, but I don't see them coming here and getting a loss. I see them getting a huge win over this Giants team that still has injuries, still has so many issues.
Yeah, the Giants, I think issues is number one, and they might have, the Raiders have the off the field issues, but the Giants have on field issues and management issues and all that other stuff combined. I think when your owner says, yeah, if I was a fan, I'd boo too. And, I think that's an issue. And I think it just, if you understand the booing, then why aren't you going to do something about it? Because Joe Judge, when you lose a game on a taunting call, that's coaching. When you lose a game you can blame the player all you want, but that's coaching. And that is what happened on Monday night in Kansas City. You have to remember the Giants are on a short week here too. So it's a bad team on a short week against 2 weeks rest with the Raiders. So, yeah, I'm with you. I could see Daniel Jones running, but he's going to be forced to run because that Max Crosby is going to be in his face all day. This is going to be bad.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny when Crosby sacks him. Crosby's so big.
Yeah, he's having a monster year. He's having a monster year. But what do you got for sale at PickDawgz today?
Yeah, so today I've got 4 NFL plays on the go. 3 of them go off early, so I've got those 3 packaged together. Kind of the big play is my non-conference total of the year. That kicks off at 1 Eastern time. So I've got those 4. And then tonight I've got 1 NBA and 2 NHL on the go as well. So busy day and night all around. And, get on those ones for the early kickoff game.
No surprise to anyone. I've gotten 2 emails from the Miami Dolphins in the last 4 minutes about today's game. Please pardon the dusty road construction on the parking information. If you don't have your parking pass yet, get it. It's like, I'm not going to the freaking game. It's like, I'm not up for the hike. I'm not up for the 12-hour flight to watch that. Not going to happen. It'll be 14 hours. Anyway, Sean, we appreciate you coming on board, and hopefully you'll be back again next week with us. Let us know what your schedule looks like.
Next Sunday.
All right, so we'll see Sean next Sunday. We appreciate it.
All right.
Good one.
All the best, Sean.
Thanks.
Sean Murphy, always nice to bring on another person. Of course, we've had him on the site now for a few months. One of the really good cappers out there. It's like, we have our Sean's not new to the business. He's just new to the site. We actually went out and one of the few guys we actually went out and actively pursued. It's like some people, they contact us. Other people we actively pursue, but then we also have our Become a Capper contest, which will be starting December 1st, and we'll start actively advertising that probably starting this week, and we'll have 1 winner on Instagram and 1 winner on Twitter. We'll be announcing the rules. We'll have a full set of rules. They will need to be followed exactly. There's not going to be like, oh, I forgot this, I got my thing in late, any of this stuff. Believe me, part of the rules will be that, because just like being a handicapper on the site, you can't the game already started, but I'll put my pick in. It's like, it doesn't really work like that. It's like, so I look forward to it. We had a good turnout last year, and I'm expecting a bigger one this year, but there will be a video element, right, Joe, to this year's contest?
Absolutely. We need someone who can sit here and talk with us. Yeah. Get thrown questions left, right, and center, be able to answer them. So I've got so many fun ideas for this, Mitch. I can't wait to have a session where we sit down and brainstorm some different things we can do this season.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I know some of the things that I would like to eliminate from last year, and I also know, some of the things that have worked in the past and other contests I've been involved in. So I think it's going to be a good one. And, hopefully we find two really good cappers and two people that really want to do it as, kind of as a, as a capper is, not just be a game picker, because a handicapper and a game picker, two totally different things. But let's bring it out. Al's been in these contests on other sites before. He's a former winner himself, and it's a different world, right? I mean, it is a different world sitting there, and it's kind of like on Jeopardy, like playing Jeopardy, where you're oh man, I get all these questions right, but you're not really keeping score, so you're not getting the deductions for all those wrong ones, right? It's always your turn, right? You're always buzzing in on the ones that and it's always your turn. Wheel of Fortune, right? It's always your turn at home. It's way easier, than, if you're there, actually have to spin the wheel, call the letter, spin the wheel, call the letters. Oh, you don't get the, you get kind of those first few rounds through to try and look at the puzzle and try and figure it out, in handicapping. Some days like Tuesday, we're not going to get that chance to figure it out. It's like we're going to have to just go with what happens on the court and do the best, try and weed our way through, 180 game schedule. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. Al, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. As you were saying, I mean, it's one thing to go and you can sit there and look at the whole card of every single sport and pick every single game. You do a free pick on every single one. And I guess that's one of the reasons you always mention how you started the premium side is people were asking you for your best picks, because obviously not everyone can afford to go out and bet every game, and I don't think anyone really should go out and bet every game, even no matter how much you like them. It's really hard to try to beat the book at every game. That's why we try to sit there and really pick and choose our favorite games.
Yeah, it is. I think people learn a lot. We learn a lot about people too over that month contest. I think people learn a lot about themselves, and I always, when we run the contest, I always think if 15 to 20% can end the month with a positive balance, that's amazing. And I don't think it hit. I don't think we've ever been anywhere close to that. But it's hard.
Yeah, sports betting isn't as easy as it sounds. Obviously there's a reason why the lines are there, and there's a reason why so many books are willing to take your action. It's there for a reason. And these contests, you have to get hot at the right time too, and you do have to beat usually a pretty tough field out there too. So the last contest we had some really, really good results. I was keeping an eye on just the scores, and really impressed by a lot of people that didn't make it. Obviously we picked the best ones out of there. That's kind of the point of the contest. So congrats to our new winners. They did a great job and definitely earned their spots, because that was a very tough field to beat.
Yeah, and look at the year that those guys have had on the site too. So it's like, you can tell over, it's one thing to have, everyone has a winning day. I don't care who you are, it's like you could be the guy in the office pool. I have a friend whose father, has an office pool, and he has been in the same office pool for 30 years or something, and he just picks all the home teams. So he just every week they give him thing. He just picked every home team, or he picked, and it's, he's had some great weeks. He's had some great weeks. He's had some great weeks. But anyway, slice it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be really cool because we have a bunch of different sports going on at the same time. It's not like we're going to have college basketball. We're going to have college basketball, NBA basketball, hockey. We'll have college football and NFL all going on. We'll have the Big Five, plus there'll probably be some UFC and boxing in there as well. So we'll have to see how that figures in.
A lot of times the toughest part, as I'm pretty sure you've mentioned a couple of times too, is picking your favorites, because some days you can like a lot of plays, and it's kind of hard to pick and choose your favorite. You can even pick your favorite play could end up a loser. Your next five could be winners. But it's hard to be selective. But definitely worth giving it a shot. And good luck to all the new to everyone joining the new contest.
All right. Well, what do you got for us today?
We'll be looking at a very interesting matchup here with the Bengals hosting the Browns, coming off very interesting, probably one of the most surprising results of the whole season, losing 34-31 to the Jets with a backup quarterback. But, you know, that offense has really been rolling. Obviously, you don't like seeing them give up that many points to the Jets. They have been pretty inconsistent this season. Another loss of theirs was to the Bears, which is another matchup they should have won. But they've really showed up in their tougher matchups. That loss to the Jets came between a big 41-17 win in Baltimore and this matchup, I think, is one they were probably looking forward to a little bit. And looks like they did overlook the Jets there just a little bit, just enough for them to lose that game. But I definitely think, as I said, they've been looking forward to this matchup. They're not going to look these Browns even as bad as they've looked. They've been playing some pretty horrible football. They're dealing with their Odell Beckham Jr. drama. But they still do have some pretty good players. You know, Jarvis Landry is a good receiver. Nick Chubb's still a great running back. And I expect him to keep this offense rolling a little bit. He is coming off his worst game of the season. But he's still a tough back to slow down. Expect him to have a better game here. Both teams have been better against running backs. But again, Joe Mixon is also having a great season with Cincinnati. And I think I'm giving the advantage here to these running backs against these run defenses. I mean, they've both faced some pretty bad offenses along the way, too. So that's helped their numbers, too. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup, but even if the Browns do improve, I mentioned some good things about them. I don't think it's all bad for the Browns. I still think they do have some time to turn the season around, but I think this is going to be a tough spot for them on the road against what's looked like the better team to me, despite that loss to the Jets. So I'm going to be laying the points here with the Bengals at home.
Joe?
Who were looking great before that loss, so expect a big bounce back from
Joe,
them.
I see a slight line drop here to 2 in this game.
Yeah, I still think give me the Bengals at home as well. I really do think they are the better team here. We know the Browns are also still dealing with some injuries. The big thing for me is the Bengals off a straight-up loss of 4-0 against the spread in their following game. So give me the Bengals minus the points here. I think we see them come out with a nice win at home in this one.
I think as good as the Bengals have been, they're been a little mediocre on the defensive side of the ball, and I think the Browns have been vulnerable as well, even with that big-time pass rush. And I think that's what maybe people are looking at here when they're looking at, with the money on the Browns, is that pass rush against Joe Burrow, who has been hit, throughout his career pretty hard. But I think we're going to see plenty of points here. I know the Cleveland defense is ranked 3rd against the run, 7th against the pass, certainly big numbers. And Cincinnati, big against the run as well. This is going to be a passing game. This is going to be like schoolyard football. I expect to see a pretty big number here in the jungle. I like the over 47.5.
I like that a lot, Mitch. And what you say about Burrows, he has been hit a lot, but you know what I love about him? This kid just stands there and he takes it. He does not give up, and he'll make those plays at that last second and take the hits. So I like what I see out of him.
The Bengals have just owned the Browns. I mean, the Bengals have not been world beaters. They drafted first overall a couple of years ago. The Browns, have drafted first, a bunch of times as well. But, the Browns 2-11 against the number in their last 13 against Cincinnati, 1-5 against the number in the last 6 trips to the Queen City. I don't know, man. I just, but the dog has 4-1 against the number when these two teams played. Battle of Ohio. There's a few rivalries out there today. This should be a good one, though. Al, what do you got at PickDawgz?
Yeah, so a couple of things that kept me from making this a premium, but I do think, they do have the better defense, too. That's probably their biggest advantage. But, again, I just think this Bengals offense is that much better, and we'll get their scoring done today. So what I have on the side, I have a little bit of everything. I have a 5-pack with my 2 best NFL bets, my best NBA and 2 best NHL bets, which the NHL has been going pretty well this season. Or I have a 5-pack, again, those 2 same best NFL bets, and another 3 of just looking for NFL, I have a 5-pack of that. Again, go with a long-term pass. You'll get all the picks, and great time to pick it up. College basketball just starting, and we already have all these sports going on, so hop on board.
Absolutely. It's a great time of the year. This is kind of, as we head November, with college basketball starting Tuesday, and then, all the way through to, I don't know, for me, it's all year round, but I mean, March Madness, everything. It seems that to me, I know, being in the business for as long as I have, and, for having the website, so I see how many people visit the site. So I know what are the types of times a year when things really go crazy. This is certainly the time of year that most people seem to enjoy the most. And I think, a lot of people are off and at home, that have been back in the office and stuff. They have a lot more time at home. And, we have a lot of weekday, daytime sports going on too. So I love that. So, anyways, Al, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. And of course, all week long on the drive-thru.
Always a pleasure doing both. And yeah, see you next week.
Al Ninos. So,
Best of luck.
Yeah, Al Ninos.
Thanks.
Al Ninos, he's a guy that won a Capra contest a few years ago, and I was able to snag him when we started up PickDawgz to have him come over. But I ran the other. Well, I didn't run the other contest, but I was part of the company that did, and I actually didn't have anything to do with the contest at all, to be honest with you. I kind of
But you got Al over here, and that's all that counts.
Kind of didn't agree with some things. I kind of was just like, I'm not playing. I'm taking my bat and ball. I'm going home. Just kind of what I do. But never had a job I wasn't fired from.
That's okay.
I can proudly say that. It means I stand for something. But anyways,
we're not going to go down that path again today.
Well, the Dolphins are out of the way, but Kevin Thomas has been a Dolphins on the Dolphin games the last few weeks. So he's going to have to go in another direction today for this one. We'll have to see what he says in just a second. Let me get his information up here.
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank everyone who's watching right now. We've got so many people tuning in this morning, so I hope you guys are enjoying the show.
I had him ready to go, and then I don't see him in the screen, so I don't know where he went. But we could always. I think we lost him. So.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to change plans here. We'll bring in Jovan. Certainly not plan. Jovan's certainly not plan B, but he's going to be for this spot. Anyways, Jovan, welcome to the show.
Good morning. What's going on?
Nothing much. Got NFL football this week. 12 games. The Patriots on the road here, starting to look like they have some life in them, but I'm not as convinced as everybody else. But see what happens in that one. What do you have going on today?
NFL Sunday. I got a slew of games. Going had a productive past couple of days. Went 3-0 on Friday. Followed that up with a 7-3 performance in college football. So things are looking up. Just trying to keep this rolling.
I did not.
Who's in the green room typing like crazy? You guys want to mute your mic?
Somebody's typing back there. Texting.
Someone's sending a nasty email.
Texting like a teenage girl. It's got to be Bitler. That's Ruffolo for sure. Could be. Anyways, what game are you looking at today, Jovan?
We're going down to the Big Easy, New Orleans, where the Falcons are playing the Saints, and I'm on the Falcons in this one. Now, this is just a very blanket statement, but any team with Trevor Siemian under center is a team that I'm fading. It's as simple as that. Look at last week when he came into the game. Even though he did make some plays, there were other plays where they were classic boneheaded Trevor Siemian plays where the Buccaneers just didn't take advantage of. Throwing the ball to the opposite team, they just didn't capitalize on it, and that's what he's done throughout his career with Denver, with the Jets, and it'll happen again today. Atlanta will have the opportunities to either offer fumble, interception, or potential interception, or what have you. they'll have their chances against Trevor Siemian. That's just how it is. And as good as the Saints defense is, they can't be had in the air, especially over the top where they're 22nd against the pass at 264.9 yards per game. And if Matt Ryan could find, open targets, find guys, in intermediate routes and in deep routes, I expect not only for the Saints to cover the spread, but to threaten, late for a win. I'm not saying that they're going to win the game. I wouldn't even sprinkle anything on the money line, but I think the Falcons are the play here.
Joe, this is a rivalry of rivalries here in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Jovan on this one. I really do think taking the Falcons plus the points is the best way to go in this game. And what I think is going to be a really tough game for both of these teams. The Saints have lost their quarterback. Taysom Hill will be in there. And I see him being able to make some moves. This Falcons defense needs to stay on him like glue today. And then Matt Ryan, we know he can get the ball moving. So I think the Falcons, best way plus the points in an under-style game in this one.
I think when you take some of the superstars out of the equation, like's happened in this game with Ridley, leaving the team for the Falcons, with Jameis Winston out, with Michael Thomas announcing he's not going to play at all this season. A lot of these teams just revert to the physical game, and you start with a rivalry game, within there. It's going to be a physical game, and in that game, in those type of games, it usually comes down to the turnover battle and field position. And I think that's what this game's going to be. It's going to be about field position and the turnover battle. Normally those are decided by a field goal or so. So I definitely like the direction that we're going there, where it's like I think the Falcons have a solid chance to win, but it just seems like a lot of points for that kind of game because they're going to be buckling up the chin straps because this is a game where they hate each other to begin with, even before anything happens in the game, which are my favorite games.
Absolutely. When you have those rivalry games, anything could happen. And, as we've seen with these two teams, things aren't as easy as what the line says they're going to be, so.
No, they rarely are. They rarely are. What do you got for sale at PickDawgz today?
Yes, so I have my Show Me the Money 5-pack, 5 NFL games that I particularly like. I also have a bonus play, but that's for my longer term clients. I'm also that's for $49.99, and I also have I will have NBA up. The past week I've went 12-5 in the NBA. I found my foot in the NBA. With the NBA, it's kind of like this. The first week it's hit or miss, and it was a miss for me. But now I see the way the games are played, the way the officials are calling it, and, I found my footing. But that's that on that. NFL Sunday, check me out on my 5-pack. That's where it's at. Come get it.
All right. We appreciate you coming by. We'll see you on the drive-thru during the week. And, of course, we'll see you next Saturday right here on our weekend show.
Absolutely. See you then.
Best of luck today.
Jovan Burts, another capper who came from our Become a Capper contest. And those of you that are joining late, we're going to be having our Become a Capper contest starting December 1st. We'll have the rules out. I don't know what day of the week that is. I have no idea. We don't plan like that. We just say we're going to run it the month of December. It's going to end New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We'll be announcing that winner. Be very excited about it.
What a great way to start the new year, coming on as a capper for PickDawgz.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, But, yeah, and we don't just throw you to the wolves. We all work as a team. Not with the pick selection, but at least with all of the other stuff. That's not just I knew they were going to win, or I told everyone that they were going to. It's not
absolutely
not really the way that it works. But we still got a bunch of guests to come on today. So those of you that have tuned in, we appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, if you could smash that like button, always greatly appreciated. Certainly not mandatory, but it helps. Costs you absolutely nothing. Got Kevin Thomas next. I think we have him now. We didn't have him before. I don't know where he went. It was like right when we queued to him, he took off.
He's like, I'm out of here. Hang on.
It was like
he's back in the green room. He's smiling back there.
It's like
excited to come on.
I was here, but now I'm not. Now you are here. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Hey, I thought I hit the unmute button. I must have turned myself off. So. It's easy to turn me on and off, so that was pretty dumb.
It's been that kind of morning. I thought I did the same thing when we started the show, and I had to restart the entire thing. But anyways, it seems like you've been definitely heating up of late. I even have a game of yours that I misscored that I haven't corrected on the board for you. So your record's actually even better than what it says.
5-0 yesterday.
And that was
a great start for a weekend.
Not an easy card yesterday either. I don't know. Had one of those hot start, horrible in the middle, and then the really big finish. But could have been better, that's for sure. But what are you looking at today in NFL Sunday?
Well, you know how I like to start. I like to look at the bets and the money. And when I saw 33-33 on this Eagles Chargers total at 50, I jumped all over it, and it's already down to 49, and I'm still liking the under here as we get Chargers coming into Philly. You know how the Phillies, Eagles, I'm so sorry, in the Philly to play the Eagles. Now, we know that they had great success running the ball against Detroit. The Chargers are actually just as bad as Detroit at stopping the run. So if Sirianni doesn't run the ball, I think they're going to have the fans start riot right there. I think Jeffrey Lurie might be on the hot seat. You know, they got to run the ball. You got a quarterback that has over 400 some yards running. He's almost doing just as good as Herbert here. I know Herbert played one less game, but 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,800 yards. And then we're going to look at this Eagles defense. They're third against the pass. 5 of their 8 have been under the total of 50. So you look at the 3 that went over. 2 of them were against Antonio Brown, and the other one was Tyreek Hill. These guys are burners. The Chargers don't have burners. They got Mike Williams, who's fast for his size, and then they got Keenan Allen, who's old, slot right there. They really don't have no one that's going to open this up. So these guys that play too deep, I think they'll handle Mike Williams pretty well. They're going to give up the middle of the field, and that's the Eagles. Don't bend, don't break. Against the Raiders, they broke. They gave up. The tight end had a field day. Drake came in, had 2 touchdowns. I mean, I see the Eagles at home, putting the Chargers in place, keeping the ball in front of them, and making them play small ball and go down the field, because you take Eckler out of the game, Herbert is a different guy. He's a little bit more panicky back there, and I don't think Eckler is going to have much running room. The Eagles are pretty good against the run, so I'm going to take this under here for a big win.
Joe, we know you're a Chargers fan. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have my jersey on later. I just can't find it this morning, which is really odd. So in this game, I think this total I struggle with, because I think we look at 2 quarterbacks that can really get this ball flying through the air. And I see that it going over as long as they play that style of game. The Chargers defense really needs to step up today, though, because they've been allowing 34.3 points per game in their last 3, and it's just been terrible for them. I see them stepping up in this one. I think the Bolts do come out and get the win. I'd take the money line if you're going to take them here in this situation, because I think the Eagles keep it tight. And that's another reason I'm looking for the over. I think these quarterbacks need to make these big plays for one of these teams to come out and get the win today.
I think the Eagles' luck has turned. I still think they have a lot of holes to fill. They have some big problems, and they have questions at quarterback, which is the position where you really don't want the question mark. But they do have a giant question mark there, and I don't think Hurts is the long-term solution there. But the problem is that there's no one in this draft that's going to help them either. So it's not going to be immediate help there in the draft, where they're going to have 2 very high picks. But for the Eagles, I think they cried on draft day 2 years ago when they didn't get Henry Ruggs III. Now they're celebrating they dodged a bullet. And last year when they traded with the Dolphins, to trade, so the Dolphins could trade up to get Jalen Waddle, who thought that was going to be possibly the number 1 overall draft pick in the draft, but it might not be number 1 overall because Jared Goff is still playing for the Lions last I checked. And, that Dolphins-Texans game is going to have a lot to do with it. But, they did lose to the Jaguars, the Dolphins, so you got that tiebreaker there as well. So, definitely some good things for the Eagles organization there. But like I said, there's not really a quarterback in this draft. I don't think, the guy from Ole Miss or the guy from Liberty, the two guys they're talking about, or the guy from Pitt, any of those guys are going to be, franchise savers. That's pretty much what this quarterback class is looking like. I think you're going to have to wait for maybe a guy like, one of the USC quarterbacks or something, maybe a good, I think Van Dyke from Miami looks like he's going to be a star in a few years. But anyways, I think in this one, I don't know. I think the Chargers are just a lot better team than what we've seen in recent weeks. I think we're going to find out a lot about the coaching there. I think we're going to see if they can rally the troops here because apparently something has happened. Whereas 3 weeks ago they were talking that this was the best team in the AFC. Now they're getting rung up by the New England Patriots and Mr. Checkdown, Mac Jones. I don't know. This is a tough game.
Well, that's right. Four of the 7 for the Chargers would have went under 50, except that, actually it would have been 5 of 7, but the Patriots getting the pick 6 at the end pushed that one. So the Chargers aren't really lighting up the scoreboard. They're averaging 24.6 points a game. And the way they like to rush the passer, they open up that run game so much. I don't see how the Eagles, if they don't run the ball, the score stays under and the Eagles win this game outright.
They were definitely,
that's just my thought.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. And I think even in the Washington game, we saw that. And, we saw that as well in the Washington game and right out of the gate. Because Justin Herbert is actually way more effective throwing over the middle, and that's his spot. And, that's not going to lead to big, fast scoring plays generally. I'm with you. I like the under as well.
2 is out, too. They just announced it.
That line is dropping. There's a lot of line moves going on this morning. A lot of big ones. So interesting to see how it shakes out. We're seeing that Falcons game go 6.5, 7. See, this game is at 1 now. The Eagles Chargers. It's been bouncing around. 4 in San Francisco. 4 3.5s and 4s. San Francisco against Arizona. So just a lot.
I have a prop bet too. If you take Jared Cook, 31.5 minus 115. He's the tight end for the Chargers. That's a huge investment because the Eagles, they gave it up to the Raiders last week, and that was a backup tight end there. So Jared Cook, 35. Parlay it with the under.
Okay. Someone's got a cough back there. But anyways, what do you got for sale at PickDawgz today?
I got my early 3-pack NFL and still have a game of the month in the NFL. Yesterday, huge win with the Nebraska on my college game of the month. So I'm heating up. The gridiron's a great place to be. Always having success there. Over 57% winners for the season. So you can't go wrong. It's all football today. No basketball, no hockey from me.
All right,
5 picks, NFL.
You ready for college hoops on Tuesday?
I am. I'm starting to look into it now, and I'm actually going to get some tickets to Villanova. I'm using my daughter's boyfriend to hook me up. He's down there in Villanova. They're hard tickets to get, but if he likes me and her, he better get me some tickets.
If he wants to be part of the family, he's going to do it.
It's taken me 2 days just to go through the transfer portal in college basketball. It's just amazing that it's like no one's on the same team that they were last year. It's at a ridiculous rate. It doesn't even make any sense. But anyways, we'll see you next week here on the show, and of course on the drive-through during the week. We appreciate you stopping by, and of course Red Hot. Kevin Thomas, be sure to jump on his packages. Got Al McMordie next. And, of course, Al gave out that Purdue pick for free on the show. It was Brian's Big Ten game of the year at the same time. So props to those guys. I don't know. I just couldn't buy into the whole Purdue thing. And, I got pounded on that one. It was like on my two big anti-sharp plays yesterday, I was 1-1. on those games. So, but I really wanted that Purdue one.
I know you did.
I really wanted it. So it hurt. But, the other one we both got, and that was Oregon over Washington. It was the Sharps. They took it up the keister on that one. Anyways.
What's Mitch?
Yes.
I guess I'm just shocked to hear because I'm a Sharp and I had Oregon. So what do you know?
Oh, you had Oregon, but I think there was a lot of Sharp action on Washington. I
know we're generalizing. Not every Sharp.
No, I'm not saying every. I'm not saying every Sharp. I'm saying I obviously not every Sharp is going to be on the same position, but I believe in that game there was a lot of Sharp action on Washington.
Yeah,
there was.
And a lot of people wishing they were not. So.
I'm just disappointed that the guy's knee hit the ground at the end of the game because that was.
So it didn't go over the total.
No, I don't think it. Would that have gone over the total there?
Yeah.
Really?
That game, that 26-16, the over/under was 48.
Wow.
And there was still time left for them to kick the extra point as well. And what was interesting, I don't know if you guys have talked about it because I'm just jumping on, but they wanted to run it in.
Oh, I know they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
they just didn't realize that the game clock was running. I know. So that was,
Cristobal's a Miami guy, and that's what we do. That's what we do. We run it in at the end. We don't take the knee. It's a Miami tradition. When the other guys are talking trash, cheap shotting, and the fans are throwing stuff at us, all that other stuff, we always run it in on them, or call timeout and kick the field goal.
That game was going to be one of the classic Scott Van Pelt bad beats when they were going to run it in, and you had the safety, and you had the BS touchdown at the last play.
Well, now it's the opposite. Now it's the opposite way of the bad beat because it's
just not as fun this way.
Because it's you could do it that way and say, well, it's a touchdown. We've got her over. No, we don't. So it could go both ways. But anyways, it was a wild college football Saturday. If you took out the middle of the day, I had a great day. I started fast, I ended strong, but just could not get it done in the middle of the day. Couldn't catch a break there. Happens. But what do you got going on today? NFL Sunday.
NFL Sunday. Let's talk about a couple games. Let's talk about, my Los Angeles Chargers. Not really my Chargers. I just live in Los Angeles, but they were 4-1, riding high. Scored 47 points against the Browns, and then they met the Baltimore Ravens and got blown out. And then they had a game against New England, which I didn't see coming, where they lost their second in a row to drop to 4-3. So I really, at this point, I don't want any part of Los Angeles today. Primarily because they're on the road and laying points. If they were at home, I think they might be worth a look. I don't know if I would do it, but you put a team on the road that's off back-to-back, straight up, and against the spread losses. And if they're a winning team, obviously not a losing team, but if you're a good team, back-to-back, straight up, and against the spread losses, and now you're favored on the road, it's not a good situation. Those teams have gone 32-52 ATS going back to 1980. If they were at home, then it's a flip of that. It's 108-86. But since they're on the road, they're laying points. I'll pass on them. I'll take the points with Philadelphia.
Joe, there's not a lot of points left in this one in Philadelphia. At this point, it is seeing -1, and I see a few pick'ems on the board as well in this game. So a lot of people agreeing with Al. I know you're a Chargers fan.
Yeah. I would take the Chargers on a pick'em. I really do think this is one where this team needs to bounce back. I think we go back to seeing the team that started this season, not the team that we've seen in the last couple of weeks off these terrible losses. I really do think they have the full ability to get things done, and I think their defense will step up today. So give me the Chargers on a pick'em.
Yeah, I think this is a tough one. I hate teams with bad quarterback play. And that's Philly, Jalen Hurts is. It's always, like I said to Kevin, it's just tough when you have a quarterback that isn't your guy, and then you're in a draft that's not a quarterback draft. So it's like you got to hope to hit a home run on a late round pick type thing. It's it happens though. I mean, it definitely happens. It happens a lot more often than people are willing to admit. So I don't know. I'm loving this game less, but originally I had the Chargers, so I'll probably stick with it. But I could definitely see I could definitely see it, but at the same time, I'm not convinced by a win over the Detroit Lions for the Eagles.
Yeah, I just don't know how Jalen Hurts is going to do with the pressure that he's going to face today. I don't think he does well.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me that the Chargers defense, maybe without Melvin Ingram, not there, and Denzel Perriman going to the Raiders, like they've lost those two guys that they're all over the place.
Yeah. The defense definitely needs to step up. They can't be playing like they have been in the last couple of games. So.
Yeah, when Mac Jones picks you apart like that, not good.
I know. That's salt in a wound right there.
What else you have for us, Al? We know you had the Breeders' Cup Classic winner yesterday as well. And
did you watch that live?
No, we did. I did. This was the first year I didn't watch the Breeders' Cup. Normally I like to go to the races, but
I tell you, that was, that's an example of having, whether you want to call it a perfect handicap or a perfect trip or whatever, but it was just as easy a win as you're ever going to have in a horse race. So those especially at that price. I mean, that was just,
those are the best. Those are the best ones.
Yeah,
those are the best ones. That's for sure.
I still can't believe he went off at 3-1. Can't believe it.
Should have given it out. Should have put more on it.
Yeah. Well, everyone who bought it at PickDawgz, and everyone's happy.
A lot of people had it, and I think some people were playing it across the board, but I don't think that you saw the value in the lower tier bets in the place and show because you thought the price was going to be shorter than that. Is that what was going on?
Yeah, actually the interesting thing, when I first wrote it up, I was planning on doing a win and place bet, and then at the last second I scratched the place bet and just said, let's just put it all on the win, just because I was looking at what the place was still a good bet, but I was thinking like, it's better from the risk reward, just go all in on the win.
You don't give a ton of horse plays, and you're not one of these guys that out of the blue you give a horse play, but generally for the big races you do. And I think that just between this and the Derby, you've easily covered all of your horse bets 10 times over this year, right?
I had Mandaloon, but that wasn't across the board. He finished second. He ended up winning, but at the window he finished second. I've won 10 out of the 23, I think, Triple Crown races. We hit an exacta in 2015 that paid $124.50. I've had a lot of big prices along the way. The reason I don't do it is because, to be honest with you, there's no time, So I only have time to devote to the Triple Crown races and the Breeders' Cup, and it's otherwise, I probably want to put a gun in my mouth, and I just don't have any time to be handicapping horse racing along with all the other major sports. But I enjoy it and do quite well at it, and so there you go.
That's like with me. I love it, but it is a full-time, beyond full-time job. It's like a Tuesday college basketball schedule every single day is really what it is. Yeah. It's even beyond that. But if you're good at it, man, you could really, really make. I know people make a living off of that. No problem.
Yeah. So let's turn to pro football. Baltimore Ravens game. The key statistic for me, you look at with the Ravens, they're coming off an upset loss. Minnesota's coming off an upset loss, but the upset losses they're coming off of couldn't be more different, in my opinion. Baltimore's coming off that upset loss to a division rival, Cincinnati. Baltimore was riding high with a number of big wins in a row, number of emotional wins, and it was very understandable that they were going to have that letdown against the Cincinnati Bengals. I think I talked about it here on the show. Conversely, you take a look at the Minnesota Vikings. Their upset loss is, against a non-division team. I mean, admittedly a good team in Dallas, but a non-division team without a quarterback. And to me, that's a bad upset loss. So that's one thing here. The other distinction is Baltimore's playing with rest. The Vikings are playing unrested. And when you get a team with a really good record, 670 or better, those teams are 51-30 against the spread at home versus losing unrested teams. If our home team is off, an upset loss. I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to take the Ravens.
Okay. So it's a losing, unrested team, which is the Vikings, who lost last week to the Cowboys, and then the Ravens, who had the bye week
Ravens
after
are
getting blown out
home
by Cincinnati at home.
Yeah, so we're rested, they're unrested. We're a good team. They're not a good team.
They're not a good team.
They've got a 4.28 win percentage, and we're at home, and we're off an upset loss.
I wonder if they're looking for a coach, the Vikings. I'm going to guess they are. I wonder where they're going to go.
I wouldn't think so.
No? The Vikings?
I don't think so.
Zimmer?
I wouldn't.
After that Dallas loss, that was a tough one.
I know, but he's
he was a hot commodity coming in. That's for
you
sure.
could do a lot. You could do a lot worse than Zimmer.
Could have Dan Campbell. Could have Dan Campbell. That's true. Joe, what do you think of this one? Ravens, Lamar Jackson looking to bounce back. 2 purple teams. It's usually not a good sign. Last time 2 purple teams played each other, the losing coach was fired. That was Kansas State TCU. So I don't know, maybe Zimmer does go. We'll see. But anyways, Joe, what do you think?
Ravens off a bye. I can't go against them. The Ravens are going to come in so strong off this bye, and I can't back the Vikings at all. This team has let me down in and out every single last couple of years. They've just been terrible. So give me the Ravens minus the points today. I think Al is perfectly on track with his bet.
I'm going to go with Zimmer gets fired here. I like the Ravens too, but I think he's going to get fired. I think 2 purple teams play. Someone's getting fired, and I think it's going to be Zimmer. We saw it last time. I mean, Gary Patterson had, 20-something years at TCU? It's like...
Well, the 2 people who should get fired should be the people who chose the color schemes. I don't know how you choose purple as your major league professional sports franchise color. Just my opinion. I think, my daughters always ask me what my least favorite color is, and it's always purple.
Is it because you have fears of Barney, the big purple dinosaur?
I just think it's a stupid color. I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get purple. I get every other color. My second least favorite color is orange, but yet the Phoenix Suns colors oddly work okay together.
See, people around the world changing their shirts right now. They have their purple.
I'm so glad I wasn't wearing purple this morning.
It's like, I hate purple.
I've got a purple shirt, but I just think of all the colors, like if you had to rank the colors, purple.
For me, I always struggle with green because it doesn't show up on my videos. It's like it creates a hole, so it's like I can't wear green.
Yeah,
green's
my favorite color, Mitch.
I'm green and orange, my Canes. So those are mine. But all right, what do you got for sale today at PickDawgz? Coming off another big day.
Yeah, yesterday we were 9-5 overall. The one highlight you mentioned, the Breeders' Cup. The other highlight, we cashed both our ACC and our Pac-12 conference games of the year. We had Arizona State in the Pac-12. We had an easy winner, North Carolina in the ACC. 35-14 our last 49 college football conference games of the year, including 5-2 this year. Today, we've got 7 plays in the NFL. I've got a triple pack in the NBA, off to a nice start in the NBA. Yesterday with the Miami Heat, I've got 3 games there. I think I'm 29-18 or 29-17, I think, in the NBA. Can't remember the record. Overall, blended together the last, 5 or 6 weeks, 124-72. So 10 plays today, 7 in the NFL, 3 in the NBA, and passing in hockey.
All right. Well, we will see you, of course, next week here, and as always, on the drive-thru during the week. So we appreciate you stopping by. And
thanks.
If you guys haven't checked out Al's picks on the site, you have missed out. He's been on a major heater for the last 20 years or something.
Yeah, so
something like that.
Today I'll go 1-9 and
no, you won't.
I doubt it.
0-10, 9-1.
unless you bought my picks or something. Maybe that's maybe that.
I put my pants on the same as everybody else. I can have an awful day just like everybody.
That's the only guys that never lose are the guys on Twitter who get to pick after the games are over. It's like so here's something I didn't mean to I was going to let you go, but I'm going to ask now. So the guys the bragger cappers, right? The guys like, you'll say I won this and I lost this or whatever, but you see these guys on Twitter and it's every game they win is a giant post, with a big check mark. What do you think of this? I mean, you've been around, you've seen all types, you've seen the guys that will brag, I'm the world champion of whatever, it's like, what do you think?
First, I don't pay too much attention I'm just so busy. I don't really see what people do on Twitter, and especially not in the handicapper Twitter sphere. So I really don't know what's going on. But I can imagine what you're saying. I would just say, look, get monitored, do it for a year, do it for 30 years like I've done it, and, then we'll see.
I'm with you. It's all about accountability, showing up. That's why our new we're having another Become a Capper contest. We had one last year. We got Jovan and James Clark out of it, and this year we're doing it on Twitter and Instagram is where we're hosting it. But part of the contest is, as far as entering your picks, I believe it's once or twice a week. You'll have to enter your picks in video format. So, gonna have some accountability.
Yeah, there's also something. That there's a lot of websites out there that have handicappers. I know I sent you an email yesterday about one of those websites. We won't mention it by name. Okay.
You think one of those guys are trying to dupe people into thinking that it's me?
I no.
Because it's my last name and my first initial.
Oh, no. I think it's just that's all.
It's just
just to let people know, there are lots of sites out there that are handicapping websites, and they have made up handicappers, and it's just the site owner that literally just types in teams for each of the handicappers at their sites. And the telltale sign that you can tell when it's a fake handicapper and it's just like the site owner, like creating picks for 10 to 20 different guys, is A, when those guys aren't at any other site in the world, and B, when there's no analysis with the picks. Then it's a made-up handicapper. 99.44% of the time, just in case. I don't want to slander anyone.
No, I don't want to slander anyone either, but I agree with you. I think
it's just kind of annoying. That's all. That there's these sites out there and there's some big sites that do this. Some major sites that do this, and it's ridiculous.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, I think, for me, it's like if you win, you give out winning advice. People want to pay for it. That's great. If not, hey, we have free picks for everyone too. I do it a little differently than everybody else. It's like I do it in a way that I try and give out as much for free as I want, as people want, and if people want more, they do it. We now have the betting tools, which we rolled out. Just something to roll it out, and then in the next week or two, we're gonna roll out a bigger edition of Phase 1 with all the the team stats and matchups and all that other stuff that everybody wants to see. We just wanted to get something out there because it's the middle of football season already. But it's like in the next 2 weeks we'll have that. So we're kind of gonna have something for everyone. But I don't understand that whole angle of it, like you said, and it's not something that we certainly endorse or condone here. So
you have to have analysis with the selections. It's and when there's no analysis, just think about why there's no analysis. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and why don't these people ever get older in their pictures? Why do they never speak?
Oh, I was 30 years old in my picture for 20 years.
That's okay. Yeah, but here
I finally changed my.
But you were also on TV when nobody else was too.
Yeah. Right.
It's like you were on TV when it was like there wasn't even online betting. Right. So, which dates you a little bit there, but it's it's the truth, right? It's like when people have to phone in to get the bonus pick. But anyways.
Anyway, I'll let you go. I know Brian, maybe he's waiting to get on. So.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Talk to you guys next week.
This is a whole nother, we could do a whole show on this. the evolution of
Best of luck
handicap.
today, Al.
Thanks,
You
Al,
too,
for
Joe.
joining
Good
us.
luck, Mitch. Bye.
Well, that was Al McMordie. Always has a ton of information, right? It's like
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
a
He
totally
does.
different perspective. And yeah, he had sent me an email about a site that, I mean, it wasn't like just one person or kind of like a site consensus of picks or anything like that. It was like, it was super blatant. To me, it's like, I hate getting the emails from people that feel like they've been duped. To me, that's the worst part of it, is when I get the email from someone that, didn't know any better and they got duped, and it's like, there's nothing you can do about it at that point. But anyways, let's bring in Chris Ruffolo. Chris, how were those donuts yesterday?
Do I still have powdered sugar on my shirt?
No, we're not seeing it.
Okay, good. Good. I got rid of all the evidence.
It's in your beard and hair. But anyways.
Okay. And I hope Joe doesn't ask where her donut is, because I cannot confirm nor deny where the location is.
Yeah, it never turned up yesterday. Disappointed with that.
Sorry.
The FedEx guy.
No. You know what? Everything was good yesterday. We had a nice college football Saturday. Hit the non-conference total of the year, so that I can't ask for much more than that.
All right. Well, we got NFL Sunday today, and what do you got cooking for us here at for your free action?
Well, my free action, it's going to be a team which I know you mentioned earlier. I'm going to be looking at the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. And, the Carolina Panthers, again, it's a team we've kind of picked on the Sunday shows. But this week I'm going against them. Sam Darnold, if you're not a bad football team, you can't really pick on you. And, the fact of the matter is he's dealing with concussion issues. He was limited in practice this week. And, other than that, Christian McCaffrey slated to come back into this game, but Matt Rule's already said he's going to be in a limited role. So outside of Carolina's defense, there's not much that I'm liking about this Panthers team. Meanwhile, the Patriots, coming in and winning 3 of their last 5 games. The 2 losses respectable to the Buccaneers in prime time and the Dallas Cowboys. And, I know the 3 wins, 2 of them were against the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. But I was really impressed with what New England did against the Los Angeles Chargers last week. Saw Mac Jones really step up in his first, real big spot and actually, deliver a solid performance against the Chargers. And, I just think that whether it's Sam Darnold or PJ Walker under center, Bill Belichick's going to have something drawn up for them defensively. So I'm going to lay the field goal on the road with the Patriots in this one.
Joe, what do you think?
I hate betting the Patriots. If I'm going to take a side on this one, it's got to be the Panthers plus the points. I just can't get behind this Patriots team. I think the best bet, though, is the under in this game, because we are looking at 2 defenses that can really stop the other team. So give me the under. The Panthers defense is holding teams to only 19.9 points. I see this one being a super low game. We've got a total of 41.5. The under is hit for 5 of the last 7 New England road games, and the Panthers are 9-2 in their last 11 games to that under, and 4-5 at home to that under. So give me the under in this one.
I bet the Panthers money line personally on this game. I already put my bet in. I got it. The line's dropped a little bit, but I got it right at the top, which is unbelievable. It never happens, but not saying that it's been marked a winner or anything. I'm just saying I got it at the top when I bet it. I just like the Panthers defense against Mac Jones. I don't think this guy's going to win back-to-back road games for you at this point in his career. I thought that he was the best quarterback in this draft, right? He was my guy on draft day. He was the one that I said, this is the guy that you want. Oh, Trey Lance. Right? Garbage. But I liked him better than Trevor Lawrence because he had won. I felt that he was the guy that could kind of manage the game a little better than Trevor Lawrence, even though Trevor Lawrence might be a better overall athlete than Mac Jones. Mac Jones had played with NFL talent before, throughout his entire career at Alabama, and he'd practiced with NFL talent. So I just thought that and I know Trevor Lawrence is the same, but just not. I don't think quite at the same level. So I thought he was the better choice. and I thought he was a better quarterback. I just don't think he's going to win every game, and I don't like him in every spot. And against this defense, we talk about former coaches against big coaches like Bill Belichick, but we don't talk about former players a lot. The Panthers have Gilmore, and I think he's going to probably make a statement here. He didn't leave the Patriots on the best terms. I'm taking the Panthers on the money line. Chris, what are you selling today?
Today I got a pair of my Sunday sweepers. I got one for the NFL and I got one for the NBA. And two separate 3-packs, $29.95 at the website. Or check out something long term. There are bonus plays in there for longer term subscribers. Plays that maybe just missed out on the 3-packs, but still plays I absolutely love for today's action, and especially when you pair two of us up for the 2-for-1 capper deal. Some of the best value in sports handicapping. So definitely go check it out over at PickDawgz Premium.
How about the PuckDawgz? What's up for that? With that?
The PuckDawgz, we're also doing really well with that. We got a 2-pack on the board today. Rod and I, we each put up our best bet, and we couldn't unfortunately come to a consensus today, but still pair of plays on the board that we're absolutely going crazy over, and I think we're going to make a ton of money on the ice today as well. Small card tomorrow, but still 2 small cards doesn't mean we can't make money today and tomorrow. So definitely check that out as well.
All right, there's no pucking around over there, so jump on board.
We'll get Mitchie Pucks as the honorary puck dog.
I don't think so. I think I did my time as the middleman in the PuckDawgz show. We didn't get a lot accomplished. It's just it wasn't a good mix. Anyways, thanks Chris for joining us. Of course, we see Chris Monday through Friday on the drive-through. We see him on the weekends here. We see him over at Sports Chat Place doing individual pick videos. We're getting that channel ramped up, so be sure to head on over to Sports Chat Place and subscribe. More free picks. Of course, the website, the original free pick website. First ones to do free picks on every game, every day. And of course, the best betting tools of any website out there, and it's just getting started. We'll be rolling out the new betting tools. Joe and I will be doing betting tool videos and shows in the afternoon coming up, so I'm excited about that. So
absolutely,
I got Joe doing about 600 things. It's like she's like the Become a Capper contest. It's like Ruffolo's like, yeah, welcome to working with Mitch, right? It's like, it's like just because I let everything take over my life, now I let it take over yours. But well, Chris, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on the drive-thru, and of course, every day. Have a great day.
You too, guys. And Joe, don't worry, it's price of admission for joining the club, so it's all good.
I like it.
Well, so far so good. Got just 2 more cappers left to go. Of course, it's our regulars, Rod and Brian, and we've covered a lot of the games here, so this is good. Kind of spreading it around. I don't think we've covered every game, but we certainly covered a lot of them. So we'll be able to get to, I believe, all of them today. Rod, how's it going? How's the birthday celebration?
It was good. It was a good day yesterday. A nice winning day, and we won some bets, lost some, but overall we came out ahead, so can't complain. Any day you come out ahead winning is a good day.
For me, when you get to be my age, it's anytime you wake up, it's a good day.
That's a good thing too.
Yes, it is. So what do you got going on for NFL Sunday today for us?
Well, first play we're going to go with is the Bills and the Jags. I don't think anyone's been talking about this game, so
no, this is one
we're going to make. Nope. So we're going to go with that game. We're going to chat about this, and I like the over in this game. You look at the Bills; that offense is scoring plenty enough, over 30 points a game. And the Jags, they've looked a little better in the last couple of weeks. They just keep slowly getting better and better and better. But you look at Bills 5-0 to the over after allowing 15 points or less in the pre. They're also 8-1-1 to the over their last 10 on grass. The Jags 4-1 their last 5 after scoring 15 points or less in the previous game. The over is also 10-4-1 for the Jags their last 15 in week 9. The over is also 6-1 the last 7 meetings between these two teams. I like the over. I think Bills easily get enough points, and Jags throwing enough points there to get us the over. Give me the over, Bills, Jags.
Sounds like you said Jags suck, Joe. What do you think?
I think the Jags suck. They scare the heck out of me, but we know they can put points on the board. I'm not going to risk my money with the Jags putting any points on the board today. What I'm going to do is, because I do believe, Rod, you're right, the Buffalo Bills can put up the points. I'm going to take the team total for the Buffalo Bills over that 31.5. I think I have way more trust in that team than trusting in the Jaguars to get some points to get this one over.
Joe needs a Jags win at some point during the season. She needs the Dolphins to beat the Texans today, and then she needs the Jags to beat the Texans in the rematch to cash her season bet. But the Lions and Goff, well, they can screw up anything for you.
Goff is going to be the undoing of everything. Everything else will go right, and Goff will just make it happen for me that the Texans don't become the worst team.
To me, this is
worst team in the league.
This is like the auxiliary game. This is the game like that. Even I can't even put a degenerate bet on unless I put the Bills like minus 20.5. It's like that's the only way I would bet this one. I really hate the Jaguars. I just don't like the organization from the top to bottom. I don't like the head coach, and to me, that just really puts a dark cloud over the entire organization. So it's the way I feel. And I know some people feel that way about other things about sports teams, social media platforms, and all that other stuff. But for me, you give me a dirty head coach like this guy, I don't want any part of it. And I'm just going to take the Bills on spite alone in this game. And I'm going to lay the extra points. What's the most I can lay? I know I laid a bundle when I put my bet in.
I could definitely see that. Bills easily get over that total today.
Yeah, I think.
Jags,
I hope they do it.
Jags they add a couple.
I hope they do it themselves. I think when you have a dirty head coach like that, it's like you get what you get. And you might win some games here and there or whatever, but the karma is a bitch. So, and I'm not just talking about him. Having some girl dancing on his lap while his grandkids just left with his wife. I'm talking about like his entire resume from top to bottom. Yeah. It's a history, with this guy. It's not like, well, he made some mistakes earlier and he's paid his dues and now he's, you got to give him a fresh start. It's an ongoing saga with this creep. And there's no other word you can use, right? I mean, he's just an entitled, smug, just everything that's wrong with the world is this guy. And you can paint him any way you want. Oh, he's church going. He's a jackass. Hate Urban Meyer. I can't believe you brought him up in my presence.
So you can extend that line on the Buffalo Bills on my book to minus 21.5. It plays plus 204.
Yeah, I actually have them at minus 21. I took it at plus 184 is where I bet that game. And I'm hoping it goes 50. We'll probably bet it again.
It.
I plan on betting it again at halftime. I have a little side money that I put aside just for that one for the early halftime show. Rod, what are you selling today after your big day yesterday?
Well, today I got 5 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon. I got a nice 4 in NFL this morning, 1 NBA I absolutely love. You can buy that package I get in the morning, Sunday morning, 4+1. Or I got a mixed sport bookie buster afternoon where I got 2 NFL, 2 NHL, and 1 10-star NBA rim rocker. Or you can buy them all. You get NBA or my Super Stack Sunday package, all 10 plays, $50, $5 each over at PickDawgz Premium. Can't beat that.
What was the birthday meal?
Birthday meal yesterday? It was light because I already had the big birthday
salad
meal earlier because the wife was working. Yeah, it was actually. It was a chicken Caesar salad. It's a nice little chicken Caesar salad for the birthday meal because I knew I was going to blow it and have cheesecake for dessert. So you knew all the calories were going to be burnt up there. So I had a lighter salad for dinner and I had 2 pieces of cheesecake for dessert.
What is calories?
Oh, I like it.
Calories? It's kind of the little number there when you
Oh, that
But on
thing
your birthday,
that thing they invented to suck the fun out of eating.
Yeah. Exactly what it is.
All right. Well, Rod, don't count too many calories. We'll see you in just a little bit for the premium picks and VIP show. Of course, you can see Rod Zawacky every day here at PickDawgz, and our live show, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. on the weekends. Of course, that leaves us to one last final guest, Brian Bitler, who was correct on his Big Ten game of the year. Was Purdue against Michigan State. I was pretty adamant on the other side, so sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. That one I was wrong. It happens. I wish I would have won, that's for sure, but I didn't. And, well, just goes to show you. It happens. But we'll bring Brian in. Can't find his name tag. I can never find it. There it is. All right. Brian, welcome to the show. Congrats on the big win with Purdue.
I see you're hating on my Jaguars. That's not a good thing.
It's not the Jaguars. It's Urban Meyer.
I'm not loving them.
It's Urban Meyer.
Okay. 14 and I think with 14 and a half you'll have enough to cover, but
it's Urban Meyer. Can't stand him. He's a cancer to the entire product.
I'm not an Urban Meyer lover, but I'm a Jaguars lover because they're the lovable losers, and I like losers. So as far as football teams go.
I just think it has nothing to do with that. I just think Urban Meyer is a cancer to all things good and football itself.
We'll see how that goes today. I think I see a lot of good games on the board today, so I'm excited.
What do you got going on today for a free pick?
As far as my free pick goes, I'm going to disagree with my good buddy Ruffolo here. I absolutely love the Carolina Panthers today. I think it's pretty obvious, and at least in my opinion, that Sam Darnold isn't going to play or he's going to be very limited. And P.J. Walker is a guy that I am very familiar with. I followed his career at Temple and in the XFL where he was a star. I think this might be Walker's last real shot in the NFL. A chance to start a game. Absolutely love Matt Rule and Panthers defense here. Patriots shocked me last week pulling off that upset against my Chargers. But this team is not that good, in my opinion. And now on a back-to-back road spot, Patriots 2-9, 2-9-1 against the spread last 12 games following an ATS win. And Panthers are very good underdogs, 10-4 against the spread last 14 as a dog. Take the Panthers plus any points you get, and I'd sprinkle some on the money line.
Joe?
I love it. We're all on the same page with these Panthers. I really do think they will come out and get a nice, at least cover at home in this one. And again, you guys, I like the under. I think defenses both step up in this game, and we see a low-scoring one.
Yep, I said it before. I like the Panthers on the money line in this game. I said it when Ruffolo was here. I'll say it again. So we only have one game, actually. We have two games that we did not go over.
Sure.
So let me see if Rod, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, so hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. We'll get the gang
There'll
back.
probably be two games I can't talk about.
No, we're gonna. Who cares? We can give a total or a side or whatever. It doesn't matter. Or you can just say say I got a premium play. You can use it to pitch.
I'll Ruffolo it.
But anyways, let me bring the gang back in here for this one. So we got two games that we did not go over on the show. One is Arizona versus San Francisco. Mm-hmm. This is one where the line opened Arizona -3.5. It's now -4 the other way. Kyler Murray not going to play in this game. So that means it will be, well, I hate to even say these words. It's the Colt McCoy show. And that is never pretty. Okay, so we saw, though, in the preseason, and I know the chances are slim, Strevler for the Cardinals, who's way better than Colt McCoy. Way better.
Oh, way better.
Way better. Way better. I think if we can see Strevler on the field, maybe we can bet some halftime action on this thing. I don't love this game because the 49ers are so bad. I could see this game going under. What do you guys think?
I love the under. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, for me personally, I was pretty big on the Niners until I conversated with Romanelli behind the scenes. He's kind of lessened me back a little bit, but I think the Niners take the opportunity to beat up on Arizona, who I think they're going to rest more than just Murray in this game, But Niners must have game at home. But I don't think they hold anything back here, and I think they cover the spread. It's not a game on
sucks.
that.
I mean,
Colt McCoy sucks.
For a guy who's been in the league this long, I would way rather have Chase Daniel than him. And it's like those are the two guys that you just do not want to see on the field. It's like there's a lot of backups that you never want to see, but it's like Colt McCoy is the Tony T strategy of if my backup's coming in, I'm not going to win anyway, so I'm not going to invest any money into this thing. But why not put Strevler in then?
Maybe they are. They're just not telling you.
That's true. I don't see a starter listed.
I bet you DeAndre Hopkins doesn't play either. But.
Yeah, I've heard he's not playing either. It doesn't matter. Colt McCoy can't throw the ball more than 4 yards. So Hopkins is a better deep receiver. So that's not. Hopkins. Even if he was playing, he wouldn't catch a ball with Colt McCoy at quarterback. His only pass that Colt McCoy can complete is either to himself when the defensive lineman bats it back in his face, or to maybe a running back on one of those. Was it a pass or was it a pitch? It's like, well, let's go back and take a look. It's like it really doesn't matter. It's a 7-yard loss anyway. You slice it.
Right. I'm with the under. I think this is 17-14 all day. 3-point game, and I'm going to take the Cardinals plus the points. The divisional battle is always like a 3-point game between these two teams. Yeah, everybody's going to think that the 49ers, these people are out for Arizona.
It's going to be a fun halftime show with that one. It's going to be a freaking fun.
Yeah, we'll see.
Me and Joe always have a good time at halftime, though.
We always do. Always a blast.
We're always going to have
49ers stink.
Especially on a Sunday.
They stink, but I don't think the Cardinals are into this. I don't think they're showing up today.
They're not into a division.
I think this is a stupid game, and I'm not even.
I think they're going to use it as a bye week to get.
They're not They're not into a divisional game. Nah, it's like divisional record's not a tiebreaker for the playoffs or anything to see who actually gets a bye in the playoffs or anything, right? Divisional record isn't a conference divisional game. Two of the top tiebreakers in the playoffs in a league where some teams get buys and some teams don't. Oh, they care. Trust me on